So lesson 1.3, order of operations. Order of operations. When we have a very long sequence of numbers, variables, operations, let's say we have 50 times 2000 plus 7 times 64,100 plus 6 times 106,700 plus 198,900. If someone tells you evaluate this expression, what do? Do you just go from left to right, right to left, right to left? Do you do from middle to the left and middle to the right? No one knows. The first person that did math didn't know what way would they agree on solving long expressions with multiple operations, like multiplication, addition, division, like not this one, but like division also, subtraction also, parentheses, powers. How are you going to solve all of these, in what order, in what sequence? They came up with something called order of operations, which is basically what is known today as Pemdas. Everything in Pemdas goes first from left to right. So, but first you do parentheses, whatever is inside of parentheses, which is something like x plus 10. You would do this before you add the 5 that's outside. You would do this first. Do whatever it's in a parentheses first, then exponents. So like any power you may have, which we learned last lesson in lesson 1.2. Then you do, these are together, multiplication and division. And then these are grouped together. So this is basically saying that if you have this long expression, you would first see, hey, is there any parentheses in this? No, there isn't. Is there any exponents, powers? No, there isn't. Is there any multiplication and division? Yes, there is. There's multiplication here, there's multiplication here, there's multiplication here. So you would do this first, then this, multiplying it. Is there any division? No, there isn't. So you're done with that. Then addition and subtraction. There's addition here, there's addition here, there's addition here. So after you multiply, you add. So this happens to be example 1. The example they gave us for example 1. So if is there any parentheses? No. Exponents? No. Multiplication and division? Let's see. We go from left to right for multiplication and division. 50 times 2,000. 50 times 2,000 is 100,000. Plus 7 times 64,100. What's 7 times 64,100? 448,700. 448,700. Then we have plus 6 times 106,700. This would be 640,200. 640,200. Then plus 198,900. Once we have this, we go to addition and subtraction. 100 plus 448,700 would be 548,700 plus 640,200 plus 198,900. These are steps. This from here to a step around here. You could skip, but I'm doing it in detail, so to show you guys how I'm going from left to right in each step of Pemdas, which is this. 548,700 plus 640,200 would be, let me take out a calculator. So after putting everything in a calculator, because these aren't numbers I could exactly do in my head very quick, we get 548,700 plus 640,200 equals 1,188,900 plus 198,900. And then you add 1,188,900 plus 198,900 equals 1,387,800. So example 2. Example 2 was actually just using grouping symbols. So grouping symbols is just like when you parentheses, like when you do things with parentheses. If you have 8 times 17 minus 2.3, this would basically be 8 times 14.7, things like that. A, B. If you have 14 plus 6 over 12 minus 7, this would basically be parentheses 14 plus 6 divided by 12 minus 7. It's basically like the top is a whole parentheses because it's a whole thing. It's a whole big term divided by a whole other big term. And then you would get this to be 20 divided by 5. Divided by 5, you do parentheses inside parentheses, you get 20 divided by 5, and then you do the division, which equals 4. And let's say you had something more complicated. Let's say you had 5 times 36 minus 13 plus 9, and all of this would equal 5 times 36 minus 22, which is what was inside this parentheses. And then you get this to be 5 times 14, which is what's inside this parentheses, which would be 70. That's how you go from left to right, but using Pemdas. Example 3 is just how we could evaluate variable expressions using Pemdas. So let's say we had 4x plus y when x equals 2 and x equals 2 and y equals 5. So this would be 4, 2 plus 5. So we would do first parentheses, so 4 times 7. 7 is what was inside the parentheses, and then you do the multiplication, which would be 28. And you could do this with if you had exponents as well. So let's say you had 3x plus y squared. Let's say you had that, and x equals 2 and y equals 5. So this would be 2 plus 5 all squared. You would solve what's inside the parentheses first, which is 7 parentheses, then exponents. So 7 squared equals 49. So 3 times 7 squared equals 3 times 49, which equals 147.